Hello everyone, my name is Mark Schleusener and I'm the Illinois State Statistician for the USDA's National Ag Statistics Service. This video will provide an overview of some NASS projects that don't usually make headlines in the ag press, but they're still quite important. Most of the NASS reports that are cussed and discussed in the ag media world are crop and livestock production reports, but NASS does more than that. First, there is a series of chemical use projects that cover field crops, fruits, and vegetables. Let's begin with field crops. The crops of interest rotate from one year to the next. For example, the publication for field crop chemical use that was released on May 10, 2024, the crops of interest were barley, oats, peanuts, and soybeans, and the reference year was 2023. The previous year's report included results for potatoes and wheat. In the year prior, the target crops were corn, cotton, and rice. Not every state is included in those projects. Illinois was included for oats and soybeans, but not for barley or peanuts in the May 2024 report. In general, states that produce a lot of the commodity are included, and smaller states are not. So how do these survey results benefit farmers and ranchers? First, let me say that NASS only collects data from one randomly selected field for each farm. So it's not a large burden on the farmer's time to provide the data for fertilizer and chemical applications. It's just the one field. Second, this project provides facts that can be used to evaluate chemical usage across the country. And facts are good things to have, especially when complicated decisions must be made about which chemicals can be used and how and when they can be used. The final results are always available in quick stats, not PDF files with tables of numbers. There are similar projects that measure chemical use for fruits and vegetables. The fruit crops use odd-numbered years as reference years, and vegetables use the even-numbered years. For the 2024 reference year, Illinois is in the Vegetable Chemical Use Project for pumpkins and snap beans. Just as with the field crops chemical use, fruit and vegetable chemical use survey results are in quick stats only, but can easily be downloaded to spreadsheets. For vegetables that are grown under contract, and that's a lot of the vegetables in Illinois, the contractor will frequently do nearly all of the chemical applications, not the farmer. If that is the case, our NASDA enumerators will ask for permission to reach out to the contractor and get the information from them. Now I'm going to shift to an economic project that NASS does. It's called the Ag Resource Management Survey, or ARMS. ARMS measures the overall economic health of the U.S. agricultural sector and provides insight into the economic health for some types of farms. One good analogy is that ARMS is like an annual physical at the doctor's office. So in this case, the patient is the farms and ranches in the United States. And instead of measuring blood pressure or height and weight, ARMS measures things like debt-to-asset ratios and other financial attributes of farms and ranches. So as an example, the results of ARMS may show that crop farms struggled financially while cattle farms did well. USDA began collecting farm financial data in the wake of the farm crisis in the 1980s. It was terrible. In order to watch for signs of another crisis or farm property value bubble, it's important for the USDA to track things like farm income, expenses, assets, and debt, so that type of farm crisis could be avoided in the future. The results from ARMS help economists, researchers, and policymakers understand the financial health of farm households in comparison to non-farming households. There's measures like median income, asset holdings, debt, etc. ARMS shows how well the farm world is doing. Results from this annual project will be very helpful to anyone that is working on ag legislation at state or federal levels. In particular, the U.S. representatives that will vote on the next farm bill will have a set of facts to use to assess the impact of new legislation. Remember, most of the legislators that will vote on ag policy are not familiar with the economics of farming. They may not be aware of how much it costs to rent land, purchase feed, seed, and fertilizer. They may not be aware of how many farms and ranches are using annual production loans to make it through the year. Results from ARMS will provide that information and more. ARMS is the only survey that measures the current financial well-being of farm producers and their households. ARMS will help inform decisions on local and federal policies and programs that affect farms and farm families around the country. So that is an overview of the chemical use and economic projects that NASS does. They don't make headlines very often, but they are very important to the ag community.